WhiskyJason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany tasting rare and exotic whiskeys. I just did my video about the Wolfburn Silent Night, and now I'm moving on to my Wolfburn Father's Day edition. I must admit there are two very interesting things that changed about these bottlings. The first thing is on the back you had the nice little label where you could write down your name, to and from, and instead they put this nice little here card that's hung around the neck, and you can actually write that on there, which I think is a much better idea. And second of all, here they had song text on here. They talked about Silent Night, Holy Night, All is Calm, All is Bright. And they had no mention whatsoever of being non-chilled filtered and natural color. Here it's on the bottle. Well done. Bravo. So I guess the distillery learned something. It wasn't me. I just did my video just a couple minutes ago. So also here we know that there's 980 bottles. Here with Silent Night, we have no idea how many bottles. There could have been 5,000 or just 5. Who knows? All right, this goes for about 69 euros. Here in Germany, this goes for about 79 euros. This is 54.2%. Yay. This is 46%. This is Whiskybase number 183328. And this was Whiskybase number 170656. Now, Wolfburn is a new, I'm going to use the word exciting, distillery. If I ever make it all the way up to the most northern part of Scotland on the mainland, I would like to go visit them. Highland Park is higher in Scapa and so on, but otherwise they're fairly far up there. And they actually have their distillery just 350 meters away from the ancient, I'm going to use the ancient ruins of Wolfburn. So what is interesting for me is this bottle says a little bit more information. It says single malt Scotch whiskey, specially selected quarter cask whiskey matured in second fill ex-bourbon quarters. Limited release, 980 bottles. Thank you. Non-chilled filtered, natural color. Online, it says second fill Ex-Islay Bourbon quarter casks. Did someone now forbid or now does not allow people to use the word Islay casks if it's not from the island of Islay? I know that could have been a problem, so that's why they did not maybe put it on the label. So it says here, a hint of smoke. Thank you very much. You implemented all of my suggestions without even listening to me. Selected from the stows of warehouse number 1. So, and last but not least, it says distilled, matured, and bottled. Interesting, they used the word distilled, matured, and bottled now. Before it was just distilled and bottled in Torzo up in Scotland. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Selected from the stows of warehouse number 1. This whiskey was matured in second fill, ex-bourbon quarter cask. They're just repeating themselves in the back. So I read online that this whiskey could and should be 7 years old. I don't know. It doesn't say it on the label. So who knows? If it has an age statement, that would be great, but it probably doesn't. So now why? I'm going to let you in a little secret. Secret time. Why does Wolfburn use such small 980 bottles bottlings? Why is it such a small expression here? And it has to do with the fact that basically they don't have enough stock. So if you're going to deliver something to the States, you're going to put it in a container. One pallet has about 600 bottles, maybe 500. Let's go for 500. I can often get one with 600 over here. So let's just say 500 bottles. In one 40-foot container, you can basically place 24 Euro pallets in there. So 24 times then 50, you get the picture. That's a lot of bottles. That's a lot more than the 980. You would have a pallet and a half. That's it. And that's basically just often for one state. That's Texas, or that's New York, or that's California. Think of The United States often has 50 separate countries that you have to import to because of the three-tier system, and some are control states and blah, blah. It's a nightmare. Now, over here in Europe, I put it in one place, let's say in Paris, in France, or Belgium, or whatever, and I can distribute every place. I have to look a little bit with the excise taxes and fill out a couple forms, and I get my money back for the alcohol tax, and I have to pay the same alcohol tax someplace else, more or less, but other than that, no problem whatsoever doing that. Which is much easier. And also here, I think this bottle made it over Germany because even still in of May, when Father's Day was, or June, actually they started selling the bottles in May, there was still lockdown. So you still couldn't really go up to the distillery with groups of people and visit distilleries and get these bottles. And so they went online instead and sold them also over here in Germany. Thank you very much. Now, the 54.2% on the nose, it's there. There's a little bit of vanilla, and there's a lot more of a lime and lemon moment, a little bit like 7-Up Sprite. It's not as sweet as the Silent Night edition was for 2020. In both of these, you have a slight hint of smoke. It comes out on the palate more than it does on the nose. And here's there's much more sweetness. I think the 46% is actually wasn't a bad idea to dilute it down to that. So this is 54.2, which gives us the illusion of being cask strength, but since it doesn't say in the bottle, it's not. It could be. I don't know. Yeah, not much. Lemon, lime, a slight whiff of the smoke, a little bit of salt. It's an interesting... Oh, pear. I forgot to mention the pear. Yes, exactly. It's pear. All right. Cheers. Now, it's too strong for me. I'm going to add a little bit of water. Take it down to like 46% like the other one is. Heat, and then you get a nice little, I actually get a tiny little bit of a peppermint moment at the end, a little bit of an herbal moment. The smoke is actually less, and the sweetness is less. So I am going to ask you, I'm going to ask everyone out there, I do know that phenolin, that the compound that sticks to the barley after you've had the peat smoke, those are the smoke particles, they go through the distillation process, and actually in the barrel over years they will dissipate. They'll become less and less and less. Will also the barley sweetness, the barley sugar, become less over time? Because this has much more sweetness, it's much younger than this. This feels like it could be the 6 or maybe even the 7 years they were talking about there. Is it a little bit sweet? Yes, but is this much sweeter? Yeah. Okay, let's go back. 46%, roundabout. Okay, that's also an interesting phenomena. The more water you put in a whiskey, often the sweeter it gets. I'm sure a chemist could explain why. I have a doctor of chemistry over here. I have to ask Heinz Weinberger what his why that is. It's an okay whiskey. I think we can expect good things from Wolfburn in the future. I hope they get their aging stock together and they get everything set up so it actually works out just fine. That we get some age statements. It can start with a 5 or a 6 or an 8. It doesn't have to start with a 10 or 12 or 18. There is a crispness, and there is a little bit of a maritime saltiness here. And the peat smoke towards the end, a little bit of that bonfire on the day after the beach. Not bad. I prefer the Silent Night, though. Despite the youthfulness, despite the little bit of rough edges, I like that. All right, interesting. We have the Silent Night 2020. We have the 2021 here of Father's Day. WhiskyJason, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American in Germany, tasting rare exotic whiskeys. What is your favorite Wolfburn? Write it down in the comments. Thank you very much. See you soon. Bye-bye.